There's like a silver ring around my character just being boring, human, but nothing special.
Damn.
Most people are just humans.
Yeah, we're all human.
Well,
it's up to you. You don't count.
Slip's character technically not human either, but
15 out of 14. What's this cheatery? Zorath. 15 out of 14.
I'm big tanky boy.
But you can't have 15 out of 14. That doesn't work.
I think he has an ability.
I don't know why it's saying.
I have an ability to disregard fractions too.
No, you should be.
I never picked what I used for skills. I never picked
14,
my actual.
I think.
No, it should be.
It got up to the...
What was that, Bo?
Oh, I have general abilities, 2 left from social, and I picked skilled, and I think I never picked the actual skill. I'll just wait until it's time for me to do something, and that will be it.
Give me that +1! Okay.
I should have gotten the... I didn't realize there's a lot of weapon things I could have gotten for spears rather than just the +1. Because I went with lethal weapon, which is good, but really, it's stacking a lot of modifiers on so I have a really nice minimum, more than anything.
Stack, min, max.
Shut up!
Alright. 3,
I'm ready.
2, 1. This is Chapter 9 of Hourglass. Currently, we have with us Matt as Hedwig, Bo as Mikey, and Aki as Zorath, potentially joined by Ghost as Samuel later. Okay. The dream. It was the most remarkable and terrible dream. You remember it like it was yesterday. No detail escapes you. No emotion is lost to time. You are enchanted and perplexed, but certainly it was something you've never experienced. From the green grass fields to a hulking cliffside citadel, it was all so real. Your eyes flicker open and are met with a natural light above you. You hear unnatural beeps, pumps, and mechanical squeals. This was not your home. Were you stuck in the dream? Was it a new reality? Was it no dream at all? You feel wires stuck to your body, and you see large monitors with strange readings. This might be magic to you, or it might be mundane, or nearly so. An outline of a man walking from bed to bed catches your eyes, and the others. There were over a half-dozen lying here, comatose. Were they dead? Were they asleep? Some stirred, and some did not. Alright. You stir from your beds. You're on cots. You're hooked up to various equipment. There are monitors around you. Most of it is in a language you cannot understand. You see your gear next to you on the floor. You see a man walking around. He's got a slightly tight blue shirt with an emblem on his chest. He's looking into a small handheld device. Looks the size of a little bigger than his hand. And each of your eyes begin to open slowly, as described earlier, and I'll let you guys take it away.
I mean, I think first off, the others would probably hear the sudden rustling as Zorath rips what he can only describe as vines or something similar, perhaps some kind of strange leech. There's similar things on his world, but nothing like this. Rips them away from himself. Blood trickling here and there from where they were attached.
As you do, this man approaches you and puts this thing next to you, and you hear the... What's wrong with you, man? Stop doing that!
Where is Zorath? This is...
He kind of stands, kind of eyes darting around looking for his spear.
What the hell's a Zorath, Jim?
This... Where is Proctor?
The Proctor... He's in the training bay, of course. You need to lie still.
Why?
Because you're coming out of stasis, you oaf.
Stasis. What is this you speak of?
You're in a simulation, and now you're in the hub. Stay still. He grabs one of the wires and presses the sticky pad into your chest again, and if you don't, disallow him to.
Yeah, it's clear that there's no real threat here. This guy seems genuinely concerned, although Zorath is a bit skeptical still.
He seems fairly irritated more than concerned.
Yeah. So Zorath kind of looks him over.
This one. What is your name?
You could call me Bones. Just lie back. And he nods to the bed and looks to the others that are stirring.
As Hedwig, she awakens, she lets out a yelp, seeing the wires attached to her. For a few moments, she panics, having flashbacks to seeing herself lying down. She raises her hands to her hair to feel it, her mouth, her eyes. As she starts to breathe slowly as she looks around, her head going from side to side. What was this place?
Steady your breathing, girl. Steady your breathing.
Alright, sorry, hi, my name's, Hedwig. Hedwig Ride. She sticks out a hand, a shaky hand towards him.
He puts the device next to you and it scans. Your heart rate's elevated, Hedwig Wright. Please calm yourself down.
Alright. And her hand, still unshaken, still remains in the air, pointed in his direction. Where's this place? And, who are you?
It looks like I'm gonna have to repeat myself for each one of you that wakes up. Dr. McCoy, you can call me Bones. I'm the medical director of this facility. It's called the Hub.
Oh.
And Zorath kind of looks to him and Hedwig as they kind of converse a couple of beds away, and he looks to Bones as he told him to call him.
Bones could simply wait for others to wake first, then tell all.
Well, it's impossible to know when you all wake up. Quite frankly... Yeah, go ahead.
When you talk, you turn around and somebody is already awake, sitting up in his vat of fluid, wires torn off. Awake for what?
Oh.
Where the fuck am I at? Where's my goddamn pistol, you fucking kraut?
No one's a kraut here. Sit down, young man.
Horvitz splashes around in the water, reaching down through the water looking for his weapons that must surely be there.
They are not in the water with you. He comes over and... Yeah, had to put you in the in the water stasis. You had a water incoming, that's what they call. You swam in?
Yeah, I did a bit of swimming. I must be seeing things.
No, you're not seeing things, lad. Sit down, relax, relax.
At least tell me my goddamn cigarettes are dry. Where's they?
What the hell is a cigarette?
And Hedwig, she's lying back in her bed. Her eyes dart around the different technologies that seem to be above and below. She points to one. Can I ask, what's this?
Heart rate monitor, blood pressure monitor.
That's fascinating. And what about that? And she points at another, maybe a data pad. Or...
It's a tricorder.
Do you mind if I maybe look at some of these things?
Yes, I do mind, miss. Please, relax. I'm not here to tell you about your fancy new toys. I'm here to make sure you don't die.
Miss,
Right.
mines, but you have no reason to worry.
Bones is healer, yes?
I was going to say the United States fucking Marines are here, but I guess so.
What's that?
What's what?
What he said. Sorry. And she calls across the bed. What's your name? I'm Hedwig. Hedwig Wright.
Zorath kind of looks her up and down and looks to Mikey, gives her a small nod.
Zorath.
She turns her head towards Zorath. Oh, you're Zorath. Hi. And you? She turns her head towards Mikey again. Oh no, did Bo cut out?
My name's Mikey, Mikey Horowitz. I'm from New York.
Nice to meet you, Mikey. So when can we get up Mr. Bones?
When I'm sure that you're not going to have a psychotic break or a heart attack or a stroke. So you just sit here and calm yourself for a minute while I look over some things.
Sure. She puts her hands on her stomach as she lays down, twiddling her thumbs a little bit, very anxious to get up and start looking and touching things.
Yeah, Dr. McCoy comes over to you, Zorath, and he has this, it looks like a stick, maybe, a little longer than his hand, and he's like, this is gonna pinch, so don't go and hit me when I give it to you.
Zorath is strong. Zorath heals self, usually.
Oh, yes, good. He takes this thing and injects it into your neck. You feel a small pinch, and you feel a bit calmer than you did before. All your anxiety is kind of washed away. He walks over to Mikey and he's like, you can get out of the vat now. You see, when you come into the hub, we like to bring you in how you came. So if you're swimming, we like to put you in water so it's not such a shock.
Okay, I guess so. Last thing I heard, I remember I was swimming, and I guess I'm still waiting to wake up from this nightmare.
Oh, you're awake, lad. Here. And he injects your neck too, and you start feeling more comfortable.
That stinks, but it's oddly refreshing.
Yeah. And he just kind of shakes his head and walks over to Hedwig. Are you okay with me in administering this?
What, may I ask what it is that you're...
It's a sedative.
Okay. She thinks for a moment. Sure, yes.
You seem anxious, and he just reaches up and injects it into your neck.
Honestly, I'm more excited than... Oh, that's nice. I'm more excited than anything. What? So we're in the hub. The hub of what?
The hub of everything.
Right, that's not very specific, but that's okay.
Every universe, every galaxy, every solar system, every dimension. We're in the middle.
What is dimension?
Oh, God. He just shakes his head. Like I said, I'm not the teacher. You'll have to talk to Mr. Time or the proctor or the librarian. I'm just the medical director of this facility.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Time.
That's ironic if what you said is true. So this place, this hallucination we're all sharing here is some sort of nexus.
That's not a bad description, I suppose. What was your name? Michael?
Yeah, Mikey. That's what they call me, at least.
Well, Mikey, it's not a bad deduction. It's almost like you have a Vulcan blood.
What's Vulcan?
What?
An alien. Like this one. He kind of points to Zorath.
Zorath is not alien.
He points to all of you kind of in turn.
Others are alien.
Yeah, it's a point of view thing. Anything different from yourself, it's alien. That's one of the definitions.
Do you mind if I get up out of this bed? Is that alright?
Yes, you can all get out of the bed, and please, you seem like you're not going to have heart attacks, strokes, or psychotic breaks just yet, so sure.
Where is Zorath's spear?
Everything is being held in storage for when you need it. You do not need your spear running around in the hub. Trust me.
There is nothing here.
There's
Nothing to hunt.
hunt. There's food replicators if you're hungry.
What does that mean exactly?
That means you type in what you want to eat, and it makes what you want to eat immediately, and you eat it.
Where's this?
Well, there's one over there, and there's pretty much all over the hub.
Hedwig immediately runs over, her gangly legs kind of making way as she runs over to the food replicator and starts studying it. How is this possible?
That I could not answer. Apparently, I am a character from a TV show, but here I am.
A TV show or a television show?
Yeah.
Zorath kind of stands from his bed, again kind of pulling free from any of the wires and tubes and stuff. Although more gently this time. Has kind of tuned out because he doesn't know what half of this shit they're saying means, truly. Or at least understands in detail of any kind. He kind of looks to Dr. McCoy again.
Where is Proctor? Training room, you said, yes?
Just go out into the hub and look around. Don't touch anything. I think that's probably what they would want you to do. The hub is a bit more sparse than usual. I need to look over these other patients. If any of them wake up, I'll send them your way.
Yes. Zorath needs...
He kind of looks to the absolutely bizarre surroundings.
lessons.
I don't know how you got here, friend, but they usually don't bring in such primitives.
Zorath knows nothing of this. They say Zorath shall hunt, protect, whatever else. So Zorath shall.
Alright, well, I think, as I said, Proctor, Mr. Time, and the librarian are still here. Everyone else is gone, I'm afraid.
Gone to Malthun. Death. Or left.
Yes, something like that. There's a civil war going on, after all.
Tribes fight each other. Is this the hunt Proctor spoke of?
Oh, partially, yes. I assume. I can't speak exactly for Proctor, but...
Hedwig turns around, sipping her tea a bit, and she puts it down on the little saucer that came with it and says, I apologize. I'm no soldier, or anything of the sort. Not really the fighting type either.
Well, Hedwig, we've met before, so I would disagree.
Oh, we have?
Yes.
Where? When?
I think you were last in here 2 weeks ago. I could look at my records.
Jeez.
You looked mighty different, but...
Oh. Hedwig looks a bit downcast for a moment, and she looks up. Oh, yes. Yeah, the 9 years in the future of me who's very much dead. Yes. Very dead, unfortunately.
That's the pits. She was a nice girl. You were a nice girl, I guess.
How is Hedwig dead? Hedwig is here.
Oh, unfortunately, apparently, I think it was shot. Something of the sort. I had lots of tubes in me.
They call them cybernetics.
Right. Right.
But that does not explain. If Hedwig is dead, how is Hedwig here?
Because I did a scan of your genomes, and well, she's 9 years younger. So this is the Hedwig from 9 years ago. Now here.
Yes, let's ignore off the subject. Let's just move on. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it. It's perfectly fine.
Zorath wishes to know. Proctor spoke of time. This is what Proctor meant.
Yes.
Zorath here.
Yes, Zorath.
Bones knows what Zorath means.
Well, yes, time travel. Oh, no, of course not. There's infinite Zoraths along your timeline. And I don't know much about you or where you come from, but it's possible there are multiple dimensions, multiple yous, not even in the same continuum. I'm not very good at describing these things. As I said, I am a character from a TV show.
Well, you look quite good for a character from a TV show.
Bones has helped. Thanks.
Sure, well, whenever you're injured, try to come back here and I'll patch you up the best I can. I could use supplies when you're out in the field, whenever you get sent on your next assignment, your first assignment, so God.
What does Bones need?
Oh, I'll send a requisition with you.
Requisition.
A list, yes.
Good.
Are you alright there, Mikey? Cat's got your tongue.
I'm doing okay here. I'm just trying to figure out how to work this replicator. He kind of bumps it with his left elbow and
He
with
goes, yeah.
one finger he types in fat slice of cheese pizza.
You get a fat slice of cheese pizza.
He picks it up and hey, this ain't half bad. And I'm from Queens.
Well, with food like that, you're going to die of a heart attack.
Enjoy your life while it lasts, Bones. You don't ever know when it's going to be stolen out from under your feet. If what you say is true, this is an upgrade from where I was from. I came from war-torn shithole.
You mentioned Kraut. I did have some history lessons at Starfleet. You're from World War I, World War II, maybe?
That's right. That's right.
Well, then, perhaps you'll be ready for this then, because this is worse than that.
His Adam's apple goes up and down, and he nearly chokes on the gob of cheese and swallows hard. Worse? How can it get any worse than 1954 Bastogne? Surely you jest, Bones.
Well, I can't say I really remember exactly what that is, but...
Cold, so cold, can't feel your feet, can't feel your toes, can't feel your dick. When you piss, it freezes when it hits the ground.
Oh, that's inappropriate.
There's lots that's inappropriate about the world, sweetie.
Can I try that? She points towards your pizza.
Yeah, have at
I
it.
would eat food that is poison.
It's...
Kill you.
It's... Well, eventually it could kill you. It's just not very good for you. Here, I can make you your own piece of pizza. What would you like on it?
Oh, it's fine. I'll just eat his.
He just rubs his forehead.
Yeah, that's good stuff, huh?
Yes. She's taking a small bite. And just kind of nods as she tries to kind of get her teeth around the cheese. Yeah, yeah.
Horowitz is like typing in oregano into the.
Yeah, anything you're and you guys are surprised that everything is in a language you can understand. McCoy walks over to another person that is stirring. He's like, "Oh, here you're gonna get visited by another one." And Samuel Clark, you begin to wake up. Your eyes flicker open as there are lights above you. You're clearly lying in a medical bay. This isn't all that unfamiliar. You don't recognize any of the equipment or anything, but you're tied up to various monitors and cables and that sort of thing. And there's a man standing over you with a handheld scanner of some sort, and he's scanning you. You figure it's some sort of medical scanner. Welcome to the hub.
Okay, so is this the actual place, or is this another simulation?
Actual place.
Okay, and he starts to get up and sees all the instruments and everything attached to him. I take these off, or...?
Just one moment. Your friends here have already come out of stasis. Now I need to make sure that your vitals are okay. You're not going to have a psychotic break, a heart attack, or a stroke, like I said. So just hold on. And he starts looking over the monitors and stuff.
Yeah, as he does that, Zorath kind of starts walking over and sees that it's Samuel who's woken up.
Samuel wakes.
Presumably, at least for the rest of the day.
This place is strange.
I don't know. It kind of looks like a regular medical bay to me.
It is like your home.
I mean, kind of. There's some things I don't recognize, but...
Jesus.
Hit
Hit me, dude.
Damn, man. What is a mute button and why don't I have it?
It's on mute.
Oh, you're not muted.
You do the whole time.
I promise you it's not.
Yeah, my
to prove
inline,
it.
like my inline thing. I wonder if it's a problem with my actual headset then.
I
It's
would
my
set
inline.
I would set a button in your Discord at some point to do like you can hit caps lock and like mute it in the actual application. That's what I have to do.
You can do that. Just make sure you turn off the sound when you do that. Or to go ding 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 ding. It's really annoying if that's the case. But he is like, you're fine. Looks like you are a little bit more well adjusted than these three. If you would like a sedative, I can administer one or not.
Oh no. That's I like to be in my right mind. Thanks. He starts to get up and disconnect some of the cables and.
He stands back. I'm Dr. McCoy, or you can call me Bones.
Nice to meet you, Engineer Samuel Clark, USS Monarch, formerly.
USS Monarch. Is that a Federation ship?
No. United Nations Earth Government Ship, UNAG, is a USS class, partly corporate owned that I can remember, but nothing Federation. Is that like, is that a different kind of corpo I haven't heard of, or?
The United Federation of Planets. It's from the TV show that I was on.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a character from a TV show. And now I'm the medical director of the hub.
No, I was not aware of that. No, we wouldn't have anything like that, I guess. Sorry.
It's too bad. haven't met any other Starfleet personnel out here. Unfortunately. Hopefully you'll run across some in the recruiting drive to come.
Yep, it would be nice for you to meet some people that you know, but, yeah. He kind of looks around and...
Just no Vulcans, huh? Don't bring back any Vulcans.
Whatever those are, yeah, you have to tell me more, but he looks around, and it's a pretty top-flight medical bay. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised if you got VR sims. Starts looking around. You care if I poke around a bit? I wouldn't turn anything off, but...
Fine. This is just the medical bay. The hub is that way. You can find Mr. Time, the proctor, or the librarian, who are all still here.
Gotcha. And he gets up, and he'll look at some of the medical instruments and see if there's anything that differs from... Well, not that he's super familiar with it.
Yeah, I mean, they all seem fairly in step a bit. These seem to be doing some of the same functions that you would see. You see that there are machines that administer medicine, monitoring machines, which you were connected to. You do see there's a couple of vats of water, which that's kind of unfamiliar. There is one large, like, you actually give me a sciences roll.
Let's see. Let's see if my system is being a bit nicer this evening. That's
I think so, because I changed this to the new dynamic lighting, so I think that's what the problem was. Yeah, it's good enough. There's a big Verde cage in here. You don't know why there would be something that's, electromagnetic blocking in here, but there is a big Faraday cage.
Yeah, he looks at it and kind of scratches his chin a bit, but shrugs. He looks at other stuff offhandedly.
Hedwig, she rushes over after Samuel's finishes bones. She comes up behind Samuel, tapping him on the shoulder. Hi.
Oh, hello.
I'm Hedwig. And she sticks out her hand. It's nice to meet you.
Samuel Clark, engineer, team lead on USS Monarch, and he sticks his hand out.
If we're being formal, I'm Hedwig Wright. I'm an inventor, well, apprentice inventor, from Old Whitby.
Is that like a college in England or something? Or?
No, I don't know what an England is. No, it's its own, it's basically a city-state.
Oh, you're not from where I'm from. Okay. Great. What do you invent?
Oh, well, and she pats her sides, and seeing that she doesn't have her weapon, she looks to McCoy. Where's that weaponry?
It's in storage. Talk to Mr. Time.
Oh, okay. Well, I've invented a few things. I was in development of a flight suit to integrate with a Garuda to make sure that he regained the ability to fly. He'd lost a wing in a fight. There's been a few other things that I've developed, mostly just fixing and repairing other, clockworks and such. But I've developed some other things. And you're an engineer, yes?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Deep space engineering. Mainly focus on power systems and some electronical communications arrays, but most of it was power.
Fascinating. I don't think I've known anyone. I don't think anyone's ever actually gone to space. From as far as I know, at least not Nord with me.
I would say that pretty much a normal part of life where I'm from for most people, but it's still exciting every time. But yeah, flight suit, yeah, those took a while from what I remember researching on our end. We took a lot of time to put those together. Deep space, obviously easier to know, nothing to hold it down, but gravity's fickle to work with.
Of course. And she turns around to the other two. Should we go see more of this station? Hub? What else is about? I'm quite anxious, more excited than anything to see more.
Yeah, Zorath kind of turns. He's at one of the food things, and he's finally. You see, he's been tapping at it for a while, and he finally figured out, because he can actually read it, of course, because it has all their like pictograms and runes and stuff. So he finally figures out how to actually get it to go, essentially. And you see this like strange cut of meat, kind of come out. It looks very bizarre, blue inside rather than red. And he picks it up with his hand, just outright, and just starts munching on it as he walks over to you, and just gives a nod.
Do you want like maybe a plate or some cutlery at all?
Zorath needs nothing. You wish to get weapons, yes?
Well, not quite weapons. Your hands are gonna get messy if you do that.
Zorath will clean them then.
Hedwig pauses. There's almost like a confused look on her face as she pauses for a few seconds and she snaps out of it. Right. Yes, you look quite fascinating.
He kind of raises an eyebrow. Zorath could say this about Hedwig.
Oh, well, I am quite fascinating. I don't mean it to my own horn. Not really in the looks, but more in the mind. But no, your pointed ears, your skin color, the color of your eyes, that sort of thing. That's what's fascinating.
Don't forget the manner in which he's definitely a poet of some kind for sure. He starts eating some of his rice.
All right.
Zorath will take time to get used to this place.
McCoy takes a drink of his coffee, says, "Definitely a violation of the Prime Directive where I'm from."
Zorath.
No, that's not prime rib. That's
Prime Directive, Mikey. Alright, well, none of you are going to have heart attacks anytime soon, so please get out of my med bay.
Yes, of course. Sorry. Hedwig waves for heading out the door. She doesn't walk to the door, she jogs.
Yeah, Zorath kind of just walks on over, gives to Bones on his way out as he munches at his blue meat, as it kind of drips a few drops of this kind of weird gristle off to the ground. It looks very almost oily, like blackish oily, almost.
As you do this, a thing flies out of the ceiling. It's this circular, almost ball, and it flies down to the ground with a scrubber and scrubs it off the floor and cleans it until it's not there, and then it returns to its pod on the ceiling.
He kind of assumes it's some kind of strange metal insect that lives here, but isn't really sure. And at this point, he's not even going to ask, as he just heads on out after Hedwig.
After a moment of being very fascinated by this cleaning creature, wanting to know where it goes, she makes her way down the hallway. She's making her way probably a lot faster than the others, and as she gets probably quite a distance away, she turns around and says, "Are you coming? Slow."
Just woke up from a stasis. You're not supposed to get your humors all in balance. That's how you have a heart attack.
Well, I'll make sure not to fall over then.
I'm sure someone will catch you.
They usually don't, but I hope so, yeah.
And Zorath, as he's a little bit up ahead, Zorath kind of whispers over to Samuel,
Zorath liked the other female more. That one did not complain as much. Or... not as... antsy.
Takes all kinds, Zorath. One day you might like that kind of person.
You come out into this room. There's a small walkway, but you see this blue kind of ambient light from this one room. And as you walk in, there's a floating planet just in the middle of the room. You can see through it. And there's just tons of lights and devices and mechanical type of things. Samuel, you would realize it's some sort of hologram.
Oh wow, they got a lot of familiar stuff here, and he's walking around looking through, and he sees a big hologram. Are there other people milling about?
No, there's no one here.
Hey, he'll go up and kind of look it over, and again, he's got a curiosity for machines and engineering, so he's going to look over all this stuff and kind of get a sense of similarities and the purpose of things, try to put things together based on what he knows.
There's some things that are obvious, like the hollow projector and things, but everything else is completely foreign. You're not sure what their functions are, and anytime you try to access them, they're locked by a passcode.
And Ted, everything is in a language you can understand, is that right?
Say what? Say that. Cut out a little bit.
Everything's in a language you can understand.
Yeah, you understand the languages, yes. Mm-hmm.
So Horovitz kind of circumambulates the hologram, looks up and down, and he walks over to a few of the screens. And even though he can't understand what the screens are speaking about, what the data structures are, he recognizes the letters, which he thinks is really strange. He looks over to the others, and especially Samuel, as he seems to be a little bit more familiar with this sort of thing. Says, this sort of thing, you seem able to make heads or tails of it. I'm lost. I mean, maybe not as lost as Zorath the Powerful here, but I'm like a fish out of water, Sam.
Yeah, Samuel walks over and... Is Horovitz in a military uniform?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah, Clark kind of walks over and hadn't really seen Michael that much before this, and he kind of looks him up and down. Where... Are you from where I think you're from? Because I've seen this in history books.
I thought there was something familiar about you. I mean, United Nations, I never heard of that. I heard of the League of Nations, but you said something, you're from the USS something. You talk like a Navy man.
Yeah, I'm from, I've had to go over to somebody else's. I don't know if you've met Mark around here, but I'm from Earth. I'm assuming you are as well, looking at how you're dressed.
That's right. US of A.
Nice. I was born in territory formerly known as California, actually. But, so we're... Let me think here. World War II, right?
It seems like that's what they called it.
So for me, this might be a little bit of shock for you, but that was about 400 years ago, my timeline.
And he looks around. Mikey expects to see like a paper calendar hanging on the wall somewhere. And there's simply not. And he just says, well, to start with, to make things familiar, I'm from NYC, Queens in particular. And what year is it now? Are you from now? Here?
No, this is all new to me. I see some things I recognize, like hologram, that's standard, classrooms, everything else. Some of these instruments, though, I don't know. Looking at data, I'm seeing some things I recognize with the data, but not really. New York still exists. Earth is pretty much similar, just a lot more like this. Probably we streamlined a lot of transportation, public transit everywhere. Finally got the flying cars about 50 years ago. My timeline again. So, now I don't know how our timelines are different because apparently some weird shit happened in Marx that we don't really understand with some aliens. But, you know, we did win World War II in my timeline. But I don't know what's going on with you guys or not.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is the first that Horovitz hasn't been kind of snarky, tough guy, and he tucks his helmet under his arm and almost kind of looks away, looks emo. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Samuel. I got a lot of boys back home. Boys I'd like to get back to if I would ever wake up.
Proctor said, and Bones, yes, that we will travel time, and he kind of seems to consider this other word a little bit longer, and space, worlds. Bones says dimensions, yes? Many others of us. Like Hedwig, who is dead.
Yes, let's not talk about that. And she's popped out one of her those hand watches that she has. She pops it open, looks down at it.
Yeah, it's spinning, just.
Fascinating. But yes, I don't think that we're going to be able to leave soon, unfortunately. But there's so much to look at, so at least we can busy ourselves with these things. Oh, it's this. She walks over to something else.
As you start fiddling with something, you hear this click, 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 as this tall figure walks towards you with a walking stick or cane with a metal tip. It looks humanoid, except the face is this kind of swirling blob. You see, and reflected in it is space. You see just this swirling galaxy. I see you found the command center. Agents?
Head clears her throat. Yeah, yes, hello. Sorry, we're not touching anything. And she puts down something that she was touching.
Soon this will all be familiar to you. I'm Mr. Time.
Bones mentioned Mr. Time, yes.
I am the coordinator of the hub and Hourglass.
I'm Hedwig Wright. Nice to meet you.
Yes, I know who you are.
Oh, fantastic.
You used to be one of my top agents. It's good to see you back.
Oh, yes.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Time.
Mikey Horovitz.
Yes, sir. And Mikey, with his helmet under his hand, you can see his hair's kind of dark and matted down with sweat. He kind of comes to him and I got attention sense.
Samuel Clark, engineer of the USS Monarch.
Yes, sir. And I gotta say, it's a really well put together command center you got here. I'm interested to see more of the tech around this place. Get to know it better.
I hope you will. And Zoroth, the only one here that I do not know. You're here by accident, I believe.
Zorath entered strange metal cave, woke up here. Though
That was a spaceship, Zoroth.
Zorath does need many lessons, yes.
It is a vehicle that transports one from one planet to another.
Like a steed, but he kind of nods a bit, like he kind of gets the general idea, isn't sure the exact specifics.
Yes, like a mount, you could say, if that is the way you want to phrase it. Well, yes, it is all very strange to you, I'm sure, but you're here now, and we don't have the luxury to reject people just now. I'm here to answer all your questions before you are fully inducted into Hourglass and become full-born agents.
Hourglass, you say, and pardon me, Mr. Time, Dr. Bones, yourself, you lose a lot of collective pronouns. We, us, our team. Who exactly is Hourglass?
That is an excellent question. We are an organization that is dedicated to keeping all the timelines in balance, all the dimensions in flux, keeping them all in a perfect stream. To be simple, we make sure that the timelines where things have failed for some do not affect others. We make sure that good things happen to good people, if we can. But sometimes it is not possible. And there are multi-dimensions, multi-universes of the same place, like Samuel's Earth. And I heard you speaking of Mr. Walker's Earth, 2 different Earths. One has went terribly wrong, and one is relatively calm and peaceful, and as it should be. And yours, Mr. Horowitz, well, I did hear Mr. Clark speak about how you won World War II, but unfortunately in your timeline you do not win World War II. And Germany and the Nazis control everything.
What do you mean? That's, well then that's our job, right? That's our first mission, to go back there.
Oh no, I am not that concerned about that world. To be honest, it's already lost. Correcting these sort of things is difficult. You would merge back with another Earth. It is difficult, as I say. We must help those timelines and those dimensions that are successful remain successful.
This is wise. Do not waste time on that which is lost.
Oh, well, I mean, we could maybe save something. That might be your new pursuit, right?
Oh, sometimes. And sometimes we create multi-universes on our own for various reasons.
Horowitz looks horrified, but he nods as this starts to sink in that it's not a dream. And he thinks back to before he left and his commander, who he never in a million years thought would surrender. And that's exactly what happened before he was pulled out of his timeline. So, in some way of thinking, perhaps he can make it right. At least for someone else.
What other questions do you have?
Zorath is not sure. We'll need time to learn all of this.
I
So-
have a question very quickly. It's been on my mind for a while. Why exactly, did I, die?
Why did you die?
Yes.
You were shot, I believe.
Oh, okay. Is that going to be, a cyclical thing? Is that always going to happen every 9 years?
No, not necessarily. Your timeline is not fixed to hers. You are two separate entities from this day on. What you choose is your own choice, but we might see. You would be surprised how many people make the same decisions thinking they are not. Because, unfortunately, you are not the second Hedwig Wright and not the third. You are the fourth. And each of them have been killed the same way, unfortunately.
There's some relief in Hedwig's face when he first said that it wouldn't repeat. And she stops and thinks for a moment. And, right, well, I'll just do all the things that I think I'm supposed to do instead of doing the things that I'm not supposed to do. Then hopefully that'll work out.
Could Hedwig not have done this before?
I don't know.
Oh, we've had this conversation before, certainly.
Well, I have 9
What?
years.
Time said Zorath is new, yes?
Oh yes, the rest of you have never been here before. We are introducing new variables to certain things. This could help you, Hedwig. I do hope that you make it this time.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Mr. Time, how many times has Ms. Wright passed away?
Oh, 3 times.
Well, the good news is, and she turns to Mikey, I mean, if you haven't been here before, then you're a new variable.
If I see you acting out of sorts, Miss Hedwig, I'll give you a short, sharp shove.
That's fine, that's fine. As long as I don't die.
At least not for 9 years. You could die sooner. That could be the variable.
Oh, good. Yes.
That is true. Curious.
And Zorath again seems stuck pondering as he looks back away towards the hologram again, trying to take it all in.
What else may I speak about? Samuel, did you have a question?
Nothing that I'm sure we're not going to have answered in like a brief or just to get familiarized around here. I'm not in that big of a hurry to go back to my own timeline, if I'm being completely honest. So this is kind of a new beginning, at least.
Zorath agrees.
Oh, I'd like to go back to mine. A few friends there that I want to make sure. Okay.
Well, since you are agents now, I can give you some details about what will happen in your own timelines. Miss Wright, your weather machine malfunctions and eventually you are conquered by the, what is this other place?
Republic of Catalonia.
Oh, yes. Yes, and enslaved.
But there's other timelines, right? That are fine.
Oh, you are from a pocket dimension, Mrs. Wright. And no, there are not. We have not spun one up.
Oh. Alright.
Is
Sorry, look
the-
over here for a moment. She turns around, away from the group to play with some things on the wall.
Yeah, Zorath kind of looks at her and then to Time again. What is this pocket you speak of?
Ah, yes, I am sorry. He walks over to the hologram and kind of swipes a gloved hand, and you see Earth pop up. It's very clearly Earth, Samuel. Mikey, you, from a globe, you kind of know it is. Then he swings one other one up, and Hedwig, you get a sense of it being the planet that you're on by the land mass, and he swings another one up in Zorath, and it's just this. It's so much bigger than the other ones, but you don't really understand. It's just covered in landmass. And these are your 3 homes, Earth. And then he just points to the other 2. And, well, you see, Earth is a real place. It is real, it exists. It is a planet in the sky, connected to other planets. Then there are pocket dimensions. Pocket dimensions are those that are pseudo-worlds. They are the imagination of others. They are not real, they are not unreal. They could be real to some and not real to others. I am afraid that is where you two are from. You are real to each other and real to those worlds, but they do not intersect with places such as Earth. And then there are finally the fantasy realms, we call them. They are not real at all. They are figments of the imagination. They connect to no other worlds. They are able to be used, and people and things are able to be brought out of them. But as you've met Mr. McCoy, he is not a real person. If he died here, it would not affect anyone else, not his offspring. You could go there again, and there would be another Dr. McCoy at the same time, never taken away.
So Zorath is both here and not, then.
I suppose it is difficult to explain.
This is strange, indeed. But if Zorath went to this Earth, yes?
Oh, you could go to the Earth via us here at the hub, but you could never do it from your planet. They are not in the same time continuum.
Zorath. Like branches of tree? Roots.
Perhaps.
It's clear he's struggling to comprehend the exact way they are both interconnected and not.
Like a tree and a mountaintop.
Ah, the tree grows on the mountaintop but is not part of it.
He just
Maybe not the
shrugs.
analogy that really explains. So, you could see a cloud in the sky, but you couldn't go to it. If you know what clouds are. I don't know what your planet's like.
Yes. Zorath is no fool.
So you could get to the cloud, but you wouldn't really be part of that cloud. You'd be there.
Zorath understands enough, but will require further lessons.
That is what I am here for, to give you some lessons. And Earth, as I mentioned, has multiple iterations of itself. There are 24, I believe. We have given up on all but 2.
But Bones says they are infinite, yes?
Oh, there could very well be infinite, if we spun them up to be so.
Curious. Then time creates worlds. He kind of points to Mr. Time.
Ah, yes, that is one of our duties, is to create new worlds, to see their outcomes, and see if the changes we make affect things certain ways. I have several missions here that hopefully eventually you will be able to get to.
Mr. Time, one last question, and please stop me. Please correct me if I'm being too highfalutin. I certainly don't want to overstep myself, but how do you determine which timelines are good, which timelines are of quality? I don't want to be working for the wrong team, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Well, we have a vested interest in several species in the Earth timeline, as I mentioned it to you. It's not called that specifically, but humanity is one of them. We like to see humanity survive. There are several other entities in your world that we also have vested interests in.
And Zorath's world, then. Time said Zorath is unexpected. Does time create Zorath?
No. You see, as I said, we are in a civil war, and one of our agents was caught, and I believe he gave his timepiece to you.
The old one. In the spaceship, yes.
Yes.
Does he have his on him? His,
You don't have them on you right now. Your timepieces will be important, and I will explain those certainly. They will allow you to return to the hub and jump to other worlds if you need to. Is that satisfactory for you, Mr. Horowitz?
It's quite satisfactory. I'm convinced we're on the right side of history, or I mean histories. Yeah, I guess I should say, but.
Well, don't be so sure. Some things we do you might find distasteful. Like this. And you see him grab out of the air, and it looks like almost like a manila folder to you, and he kind of flips it, and you see this dossier just kind of go over where the hologram is, and this one is for you to assassinate George Washington, for instance.
It's impossible. Too great a man. Throws it back to you.
Well, if you say so. But I am just saying, there might be some things we ask you to do that you might not understand.
Yes, I understand that, Mr. Time. I was being facetious, but if there's a war on, that means there's at least two sides. Who is our adversary?
This is important. And why they fight.
Former agents, most of them. They had a different idea of what they should do. They been time to enrich themselves and make themselves powerful. For instance, Mr. Horowitz, in your timeline, Adolf Hitler was one of these agents.
Yet in my timeline, he's still out there, I suppose.
He is, and he will dominate your planet. This is one example. In Mr. Walker's timeline, well, this ship that caused the war with the Vitagi, or whatever they're called, he was also an agent.
Zorath has another question.
Of course, that is what I'm here.
Time said that Zorath's home will not change, even if Zorath changes. Does this mean there's no point in leaving, going back? Could Zorath change his home, or will it always be as it is?
Oh, you are not from a fantasy realm, so yes, you could go back and change it, could Miss Wright, if she so chose, and could reach her home again.
Would it be the same time that we'd left? We'd departed, or would it be before?
You can return anytime you wish.
Yes.
Right.
Doctor spoke of this. Traveling through time. To the past, yes?
Or the future. Yes, my point is there is only one timeline for your planets currently, unlike Earth and others.
Ah. Now Zorath understands. Curious.
But do not be in a rush to go back and fix your homes. Time is not a problem. It is something we have in abundance. Well, unless we're killed first. Or you're killed, I should say, more importantly. And speaking of killed, some of you have met some of our agents, likely dead, from our civil war. You are our new recruits. I do not believe there are any other agents alive, besides those in stasis, waking up.
This is dire, then. More than expected.
Well,
So the war isn't really going so well then if we're all that's left.
for
You're
now.
not gonna you're not gonna rely on some kid from Queens.
Not entirely.
Oh,
We need more agents.
What about the woman with the strange, the one that I met on the train that gave me the watch in the first place?
Ah, yes. She is dead. Captured. Soon after she gave you the watch. Because she knew she would.
Fine. Did my past selves leave anything behind here?
Oh. You have a locker. And your personal quarters are upstairs.
Thank you.
Mr. Time,
Yes.
I'm guessing your outfit has something with a little more punch to it than the M1 carbine. Yeah.
Oh. It could.
Which way to the armory? I'm ready to get going.
Well, unfortunately, our armory is depleted for the most part. War and all. That is one of the things you will need to do is collect artifacts to fight our enemies.
Like the strange weapons Samuel wields.
Ah, what do you have there, Samuel? Ah. He nods.
Yeah, it was something that I'm guessing the agent, the tentacle face guy gave me.
He is called a mind flayer. He is from a fantasy realm. He was a mind flayer pirate from Spelljammer. Yes, it is a Gauss pistol.
Huh. I guess that kind of makes sense, but we were still not even on the brink of Gauss technology, really.
Yes, Agent Blue was very resourceful.
Seemed that way.
Or others could teach Zorath to use strange weapons, yes?
I barely know how to use the damn thing myself, but
Could I look
Yes.
at it? If you don't mind.
Yes, Hedwig.
Fabulous. And she she'd been a bit down before, but hearing that she has to look at something new, she breaks out into a large smile.
Also, you should know your timepieces, as I say, are very important. They allow you to come back to the hub. They are automatically set to do so. You just simply need to wish that they do, and they will take your neural patterns and return you here. However, many times you must prime them first. This takes minutes to hours, depending where you are. If you go before you're ready, there can be complications. As well, you may jump to certain other worlds or times from your location if they are primed accordingly and you have the coordinates. Right now, all your timepieces only have the coordinates for the hub. I will say, if you properly prime your timepieces and you move into a world, those there will not see you as any different than them. Your gear, your looks, you will fit in. If you are rushed and you make the jump before the priming is complete, you will look as you are.
So, these ones would see Zorath as them.
If your priming was complete, yes. You would look human to them. And your weapon, well, it might look like a spear, it depends when you go. Or it might look like something else, a sword. Your guns will match whatever time you're in. You will not look any different.
Curious. But useful. Like camouflage, yes?
An illusion, yes, camouflage. And just so you know, you prime your watches with a sciences roll.
Yeah.
Nice.
Failure doesn't necessarily mean that you fail to prime them. They're automatically primed, but anytime you want to prime them quicker than what the watch tells you need to be primed for, you need to make a sciences roll.
Well, I don't really have any more questions. I guess maybe we either figure our way around this place more, or check our rooms, or figure out what we're doing next, I guess.
There's no rush for your next mission, but I do have them here listed for you to choose one. Let's do this one. And he taps on it, and it's this hologram of this folder, and it opens. And let me move you over to the dossier stuff. This is kind of the metagame. Okay. So the way this works is you have missions that are available. You have no personal missions. Oh, you have one personal mission available. It is technically Mark's mission. Locked missions are they cost what are called time crystals to complete, and all the available missions give you time crystals, and you can get other time crystals in other ways. So the one that was selected is Anti-Entity. So he brings that up, and you see kind of this vast desert in front of you. And you see these bikers just like wheel by, and they have all these strange like regalia on. Some are bare-chested, some have skulls. They're shooting at others, chasing down another truck, it looks like. You just see that there's not barely any buildings from miles and miles and miles. And he says, this is a fantasy realm. You met Mr. McCoy. It is another imagination of Earth. A movie, I believe. He shrugs. We need a certain object from a place called Bartertown, held by one called Master Blaster.
The desert, yes.
Yes, it is the desert.
Dangerous like Zorath's home then. Or
It is dangerous. There are raiders everywhere who will kill you for anything. Oh, and I should say, any injury you receive in any realm is not like simulation. It is real. You can die, even in fantasy realms. So be wary.
but there are no. And he says this very bizarre word, but it essentially translates as giant sandworm. Or something similar.
No, this is not Arrakis. It is another fantasy realm. I know nothing about your home, but... Yes.
Very well then. If this is all that Zorath must hunt, then very well.
Yes. Master Blaster has the time crystal. That is what you'll need from him.
What does this crystal look like?
Oh, it looks like, as usual, it looks like a piece of, he just kind of snaps out his hand, and this image of a circular, it basically looks like a hologram of a galaxy, a swirling galaxy. It will be made of some sort of material. It will always have this emblem on it. You are to collect it and bring it back. It would be an artifact that you will be able to use in the future. I cannot say exactly what it will be, but it will always have this insignia on it.
Very well.
You are free to use deadly force, if need be, for anyone.
Right. Well, I think, before we go, maybe we should, as Samuel said, get a bit more acquainted with this area.
Definitely, and also our quarters as well, since I imagine we're going to be spending whatever time we're not out in the field, we're going to be spending it here. So
Yes, you
I
have
also
personal
wanted-
quarters. Yes,
I
go
want
ahead.
to talk with you more about just things I can do around here. You know who I am, from what it sounds like. So I mean, I definitely have an interest in the mechanics and things like that in this place. So if I could be a part of that anyway as well, I'd like that.
Certainly. The librarian is also our chief maintenance officer currently. She would be able to show you anything you would need to want to look at specifically for the systems, as our portal system, which you will see.
All right, radical. But yeah, I agree with Hedgewig. Time to familiarize around here and with each other, I guess, since we're working with one another. I think that's good for me.
Of course. Visit the librarian when you're ready to depart. She will help you wind your timepieces and use the portal.
Thank you, Mr. Time.
He nods, and he actually turns around and walks away, and there's a click, 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 click as he does so.
Hedwig turns to the others. Well, so, like Samuel said, since we'll be getting to be working with each other, I guess we should, get to know each other. And maybe certain strengths and weaknesses and such, like little, I guess, and finding more out about each other.
Yes, Zorath knows of Samuel. Samuel is strong. Rose well.
Sure. What he said. It was just 1 year in high school. I won a powerlifting competition. That's it in California. But credentials. I graduated from SCTU. Top of my class. I have a master's degree in deep space engineering. Double majored. I have my other major is in technical applications. So I know a fair bit about mechanics, electronics, things like that. And like Zora said, I lift heavy things from time to time.
Edwig laughs a bit and says it's a bit confusing when you're not from the same timeline or world. I'm not sure what any of your official credentials mean exactly.
Oh, 8 years of study, and longer than that, really, more like 16, of mechanical things, to put it as simply as I can.
Right. That makes sense. Well, I myself, I come from a long line of inventors and scientists. My family, and I've learned a bit about it, were actually the ones to, from my, I guess, pocket dimension, as it said, were the ones to invent the weather machine that originally was in my city. Unfortunately, I guess, broke down. I'm not sure, but yes, I've been studying as an inventor ever since I was very small. My father was a bit of an eccentric and liked to teach me things. Let me see his experiments. Actually, and she pulls up the side of her shirt on the left side, and you see there's a long scar. Looks like a healed over burn mark. She's like, I got this when I was 10. There's an explosion in the lab, unfortunately. Actually, a couple of my fingertips got chopped off a few times. My father's replaced most of his limbs, actually. Many accidents. That's okay. Accidents happen. But I mostly work with my hands, deconstructing things and putting them back together, figuring things out from the inside out. Not people, though. Just, just things.
You make things then.
Oh, yes.
Basically.
Oh, and I'm also a bit of a... I don't want to call myself an alchemist, per se, but it's mostly just making concoctions and toxins and stuff, and being able to... well, once I get my gun back, I can show you. Basically, I can load up small, I would say, syringes, almost, with little bubbles on the end that have different mixtures and concoctions in them. And some of them are paralytics, and some of them are more on the lines of pain relievers and such. And shoot them from very far away. I haven't really had too much. I don't see combat. I never really have.
Zorath will need a stronger weapon, like Samuel's. The spear is strong, but needs something for creatures like those rock things.
I'm sure we can whip you up something. Looks to Mikey and you, Mikey. What about you? I mean, I can make some guesses, but
No, your guesses are more than likely accurate, Sam. I'm a 23-year-old kid from Queens. Well, I've been fighting a war past year, boot camp a few years back. Did some training, got thrown out of officer school, although my team still tends to like me and give me the time of day when I talk to them. But yeah, my folks, they run a laundromat, or ran a laundromat back in Queens. My granddad came over from Europe.
So you're good at shooting people and fixing clothes? Very valuable skills, to be fair.
Well, I'm good at shooting people.
Did you have any specializations when you were serving? Or?
I was a radio man. Like I said, I show my share of combat.
Well, radio is the foundation for a lot of our work, so thanks for serving on the front lines in that aspect as well.
I just still can't understand why it's the four of us here, nobody else. I mean, isn't it going to take a long time to bring me up to speed? Well, I don't even know what this all is, and he kind of looks around at the high-tech surrounding.
I'm thinking that a lot of people who first stepped into this room probably didn't know. I still don't know what half of this is. But you gotta look at it on the bright side, Mike. You're not as clueless as Zorath is, no offense. And with due time, enough exposure to this, it'll end up being second nature. You just gotta think about, I don't know, like anything you've ever done in life that you didn't really know about until you started doing it every day, and then, you know.
Yeah, I think you got a point. I think Mr. Time doesn't strike me as a man who undertakes a task without thinking it through thoroughly beforehand. He doesn't seem to be, to me, a man who is unprepared. After all, we're going to be going into various timelines, fantasy worlds, novels, television shows. Perhaps there is some strength to us not being completely, what could you say, futurized?
I think he thinks that different perspectives are going to create different favorable outcomes. Sounds like his whole job.
Zorath thinks Hourglass is desperate, based on what Time said.
Well, I mean, Zorath, Hedwig looks to you. You. Apparently you were kind of the accident. No offense.
And you have died many times. It seems a foolish choice to make again.
Oh, yes, but, they do keep bringing me back, so I must have some sort of positive effect.
Must be doing something right.
That's alright.
It matters not.
Well, what matters now is probably maybe looking at our quarters?
Yeah. And maybe getting something solid to eat a little bit more before we head out.
Oh! And Hedwig, from kind of behind her, probably a pocket that she stuffed in, she pulls out a half-eaten biscuit and she offers it to Samuel. I have this one. It's a bit cold.
Is that your teeth marks on that one?
Oh, yes.
I see.
What's wrong?
Why don't let's where'd you get it? And maybe I'll just get my own. Just I want a whole biscuit is all.
Why?
Why would I want a whole biscuit? Because I'm hungry for a whole biscuit.
You see a replicator nearby.
Yeah, she points at that. You got it from there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for the offer, though. Next time I want a half-eaten one, I will take you up on it.
She nods and she looks to Zorath and extends her hand. Do you want it?
He kind of shrugs and grabs it and tosses it in his mouth.
Hedwig smiles.
What is it? It's a
It's a biscuit from her homeworld. It tastes awful to you.
It's very dry, it's a bit salty, there's some butter on it, so it's kind of creamy.
Yeah, he's never tasted literally anything quite like it. As he kind of grimaces a bit, and
your mouth is so dry after eating it. It's yeah.
Yeah, he swallows it hard and kind of heads back over to the replicator as Samuel's getting his thing, and punches in another piece of Kalfak meat, essentially, like a small piece of it this time. Now that he's figured out how to operate this thing. But he's not tried putting in anything else yet, so he just grabs another small piece of meat and begins chewing on it. The juices again kind of dribbling down his beard and such. Too dry. This... What does this come from? This biscuit?
Oh, it comes, from what I know, I think it's like, cows and such. I mean, it's made in an oven usually. Not quite. I mean, it tastes great to me. You have to have it with tea, though. We usually have them cold. I always get the half-eaten ones. I don't mind though.
How about this kind, Zorath? And not to upstage anybody, but here, let me get you guys a couple of biscuits from Pillsbury brand. It's been around for about 400 years.
What's a Pillsbury?
Oh, it's a corporation. They actually.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He knows.
Can
And
I find
he
a Pillsbury?
a couple of Pillsbury biscuits.
They're hot and fresh.
Fluffy.
Yeah, Zora seems a little bit skeptical after the first one, but he kind of looks this over. This one does not seem pathetic. And he kind of...
Hey! My biscuits hot pathetic.
He takes a bite of it, and he's genuinely looks surprised this time. This one is good. Soft, but not dry. And... strange. Zoreth likes this one.
I guess if you like not soft and not dry ones, then fine.
Well, why don't you try one, Hedrick?
I think you were wrong, Clark. I think she is British.
Well, I just maybe some kind of fantasy Britain. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, try one of these.
She looks at it and she'll take it very skeptically as well.
It's very warm.
It's just very strange to her because she always gets secondhand biscuits. And she looks at it. She takes a bite. And you see her eyes light up as she devours it.
That is the most interesting flaw ever. Always gets secondhand biscuits.
She's always late, always gets secondhand biscuits.
Oh my god.
It's disgusting.
Half eaten? No problem.
My god. Yeah,
On the
Zorath.
initiative.
Yeah, Zorath kind of finishes hers, and taste is still strange for Zorath, but much better.
You never had bread before?
Something like it, yes, but flat, not fluffy like this. We put meat in it. And plants. But Zorath is in exile. Zorath has no kiln or stove to make food. Zorath uses fire for his meat.
That's fair enough. I guess it'd be hard to make bread with no kiln or anything.
Yeah, basically, it's basically like pita type thing. It's kind of very because they don't have obviously yeast and stuff to make it rise quite the same. They have to use their own weird shit.
Besides, I'd say Zorath's cuisine, I could very much enjoy trying both of yours, Samuel and Mikey. I mean, I tried Mikey's pizza earlier, which was fantastic.
Your stomach's starting to hurt from the pizza. So much grease.
I think we should go see our rooms and use the washroom.
Yeah, you see that the doors are open. There's Hedwig, you get a sense that your room is straight, and there's no other sense from you other guys, but you see that there are beds in that room.
Straight north or straight?
Yeah, that way. The way you're going, yep.
East. Yeah. She kind of jogs in and jogs into the washroom.
Clark walks into this one and sees if he has a locker or anything assigned him.
Yeah, they're unassigned, they appear to be, but Hedwig, you see a bunch of stuff like piling out of one of the foot lockers, essentially, and you just tell it's your kind of stuff.
She goes over to the locker and leans down, eventually opening it up.
Yeah, you open it up, and the first thing you see is the outfit that you currently have on. There's 3 of them in there.
Oh, she looks down to it, and just a hard swallow.
Oh man.
She looks to each of the outfits. Says, I'm sorry. I didn't like this. I promise not to have it in the same way. She keeps going through this stuff.
Yeah, does this door just open when Zorath approaches, or?
Yeah, that's back from where you came. That's back to the command center.
Okay, yeah. He kind of
I can light up. I have these things for my edification, but I can turn them on too.
Yeah, Zorath kind of walks around and then realizes that this is essentially kind of like a loop and stuff. He kind of sees Mikey walking around as well. This place is strange.
Horovitz has a mouthful of biscuit and hands you another one.
Thank you, he says as he kind of munches away at it himself.
Absolutely, Zorax. You strike me as the type of guy that I want to have on my 6.
He kind of tilts his head a bit. The words come to Zorath's mind, but some of them do not stick the same. As if he has heard them many times before, but the meaning is slightly off. You mean to watch out for you, yes?
Yeah, friends. I got your back, you got mine. We both come from worlds that, well, things can get savage. We're survivors, Zorath. Let's keep that in mind.
Zorath agrees. Zorath will protect Mikey in turn.
And if I can get a weapon a little bit more punch than this M1 Garand, that would be great.
Zorath agrees. The strange, powerful weapons that Samuel and the others wield. Zorath has much to learn of them.
I think we all got a lot to learn, Zorath. Sometimes they'll take you out to the rifle range, if there is one here. Let you feel this thing kick. It uses the power of a fire, of gunpowder, to shoot a piece of metal.
Zorath thinks he understands. Strange. Some creatures in Halavanum, Zorath's home, spit things like this, but like fur almost, spines. Yes.
If we ever make it to your world, Zorath, you tell me when one of those is straight ahead. I'm gonna keep my distance.
Yes. Zorath will be careful. Zorath is not sure if he will return home.
Well, like they say around here, all we got is time. And he looks around for his bunk.
And Zorath follows him, kind of peeks in the med bay at Bones again, and follows along. Finds the chair, kind of curious of... He, realizes it's a chair, but kind of takes a moment to sit in it and, actually feel how comfortable it is. He's used to, basically stools and shit. But, this is, something on a whole other level. and he genuinely thinks for a moment if he just wants to claim this before he sees Mikey go into one of these rooms, and then notices the other one, kind of looks around.
I'm wondering why me and the Savage have to share a bathroom. And Hedwig and Sam both have their own.
Barracks.
Yeah, Zorath has kind of wandered off. He doesn't know what this is, but he realizes that this one is for one person, the other ones are for multiple people, and he sees this. He's happy to take this one.
Out of character, I thought we all had our own little area. Sorry.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
me too.
No, bro, we sharing.
But I mean, Zorath was going to explore anyway, because he already saw those. He's like, okay, there's beds in here. Okay, that's good. And then he wanders around, looks around a bit. It's like, oh, this is just for one person. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Alright, is there anything you guys want to do before we move on?
Yeah. As I'm guessing it's just outfits in her locker, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
She gets up. The thing I was wondering, since we have replicators, I'm guessing I could replicate the stuff to make my like little darts and such, right?
Yes, you can do that.
Fuck yeah. She won't do that just yet. She's gonna kind of go out and she's going to look for Samuel. She comes in and sees him playing with his locker. She knocks originally on the frame of the door and says, "Sorry to interrupt."
Oh no, you're not interrupting. I'm just taking
good.
some locker space.
She comes in the room and looks around. Well, I guess quite a few of us are going to be bunking in the same area. I mean, I'm over there and you're over here.
Yeah, it looks that way. Nice and spacious. Probably get some equipment in here to stay in shape with. But yeah, it's a pretty nice place to stay so far.
She nods and says, there's a question that I wanted to ask you.
Certainly. What's on your mind?
She shyly comes in. She looks up to Samuel. Do you think you could just maybe show me some of your technologies or teach me about the things around here? It seems you know a lot, and I'm very curious.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want to know about? There's like a lot of.
Everything.
Okay. Well, where should we start then? Because there's a lot. I mean, you're a scientist. There's a lot of complexities and things you have to figure out. So, well, I mean, what's something that you see like now that you're like, oh, well, what does that do? You know?
What do you have on you?
Well, he will show her. He'll open up the toolbox that he has and. He'll pull out like basically like an energy reader thing and show it to her. He's like, any of this look familiar at all to you?
She looks over some of the basic tools and she knows, but she looks at an energy reader and she shakes her head. No, what's that?
So on the right side of this little box here, there is the on switch, and he flips it, and he shows it and he kind of points it, and it's like set to electrical, and he kind of points it at something that's turned on. The reader is going on. So this reads some different kinds of energies. You have to know what you're looking for, but unit you've got right now is set to electrical. So you have electricity where you're from?
She pauses and just most things run on steam and such.
Okay, so you said you had a weather machine or something,
yes.
Right? That's impressive because we can't even control weather where we're from.
Oh, well, if you like, I have some of the schematics kind of stored away, and a lot of it's in my memory banks. I mean, we could swap notes.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. But to kind of make the point, have you ever had like a thunderstorm, for example?
Oh yeah, well, we used to have thunderstorms. I know about them. I've read about them.
So, electricity is derived from some of the same energy as lightning. If you've seen a lightning strike or heard about them,
Of course.
so it's very base level. We don't use it a whole lot anymore. We use something called fusion, but that's an entire different thing we can get into later. But electricity is a very basic form of energy we use in a lot of our colonies. So, for example, this is like low cost, low impact, but low efficiency. This kind of courses through electrical charges, and they're dangerous if exposed, but they can be a useful source of energy. So that's something that's like type of energy. This device reads it, lets you know fluctuations, things like that. You got thermal energy. You've got basically this is just a tool, right? This is a tool from my universe that helps us figure out energy readings, fluctuations, make sure that we're at the right level to safely work on something. Otherwise, you get shocked or set on fire, which is not good.
No, it doesn't sound very good. I think I'm understanding.
Yeah, and so this, it's different energy, but there's, stuff around here. I mean, if you see something that you think I might know and can help you with, I'm happy to. This is kind of what I do, so it's nice to have someone to talk to about it.
Of course, and I know I probably seem a bit probably primitive, but there's things that I've done that's probably you haven't. We actually, from where I'm from, we have. I don't really fully understand them. They're usually made by richer families and such. They are fully formed, basically clockwork people.
So people made out of clocks or
Gears and such, as time they move, and they have different power sources and such.
It sounds a little bit like the synthetics that we have. We made them out of plastic. But no, it wasn't going to say anything about the primitive thing. I mean, look, you got to consider, who else is around. I mean, Zorath looks like he's from a caveman movie. You know what I mean? So, I don't judge. We're all from different times and places. It is what it is. I'm still trying to get acclimated to the fact this is all happening, to be honest with you. So,
As am I, to be honest. And it's a bit shocking to hear that I'm real and not real at the same time.
You're real. It's just where you're from. It's set. It was conceived some other way. I would say things like that. I'm trying to think about it too much because the technicalities can be what they are, but the spirit of what you are and where you're from, that's real, So.
Hedwig smiles to Samuel. Thank you. Been stewing over it for a while. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And he starts to pack up his toolbox a bit.
Just, show me more things.
Well, he starts rooting through.
As you do that, there's a announcement over the intercom. Agents, please join me at the portal on level 3. Level 3, please join me for your imminent departure.
Oh, fuck, Hedwig turns around. Don't we have time? Lots of time, isn't that what's stressed? Oh, well.
Sometimes people say things they don't mean, I guess.
True. I mean, my mother said she loved my father, and that's definitely not true, so...
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
This is fine, this is normal. I should tell you the story about how my father and mother met at some point. It's quite funny.
Sure. I probably won't be as forthcoming with my own parents, but I wouldn't mind hearing it.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, my father hit my mother with a cart.
A cart?
Yes. She was in a rush. She's a
Like
bit slow.
at a
Like-
grocery store, or
No, like a horse cart.
oh,
She
a
had her
carriage.
legs. Yes, yes.
I see. I'm glad she didn't die.
Oh, me too. I like being alive. She looks to Mikey and Sora. Should we go?
Yeah, Zorath is clearly holding something behind his back as well as Mikey.
What's that?
But he nods.
What do you have?
Yes.
Mikey and we're about to walk it up. It's about time to go. It sounds like.
What's that? What's behind your back?
I was just grabbing a
What
quick
is
beverage
it?
at the multiplicator.
Can I see? And Hedwig is attempting to reach for whatever it is that's
Yep,
behind your back.
no,
Can I
no,
have, please?
none for you.
Please? I want to know,
I think
please.
you might
Help
loosen
me.
your tongue and not
Help
already.
me, please.
Your tongue is already loose enough. I don't want to hear you talk.
What's this supposed to mean?
You got a bottle of whiskey behind your back?
Very, very good whiskey.
Oh, don't drink that.
If you got access to a multiplicator, you're gonna get the best whiskey.
This is fair. I don't know. I would indulge, but it sounds like we're about to get thrown back into space time.
Yes.
I guess it'll be a time to celebrate or forget the ones we left behind when we return from this meeting. Let's just hope they don't stretch it out over infinity.
Yes. Celebration would be good, I suppose.
Yes.
All right, we'll leave it right here. And he takes the bottle and I guess this is going to be his bunk. Yeah, puts it on the nightstand there.
Zorath is keeping that other one. But he walks over and places the cups as well before heading back out.
Let us go then, yes?
Alright. Yes.
Sure.
I said I by mistake back then.
Oh no, Zorath!
Zorath the Scot. Okay.
Sus.
He's already activating.
Imposter.
He's assimilating.
Alright, you head up this elevator. It takes you to the third floor. It seems like you're going a lot more than 3 quote stories, but you come out and you hear this woo 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 woo, and it's pretty clear that on the way you see this giant like circular thing with huge energy thing in the middle of it. You see this woman with glasses that was that I think some of you met before briefly, and she's standing over by the welcome to the casting station.
Librarian again, yes.
Yes, I am the librarian. He was told by Mr. Time your departure was imminent, so here we are. This is the portal. I have all your equipment here, and she kind of waves, and there's these boxes with all your stuff in them. Please prime your timepieces. I will show you how. And she goes around and she shows you how to do it. It's very simple. She just basically take your fingerprint and put it on this part, and they're all like different items for you, but you touch them in a certain way, and you see that they kind of blink to your eyes once they're primed. These will bring you back to the hub when you are ready to go. It will take some time to prime them once you jump. So, if you need to do it quickly, there are this, and she shows you this method of, there's these buttons. It almost comes up like a little computer screen that you tap on.
Strange. But this seems to be alright. Zorath understands.
Yes, when you have access to other worlds, and she swipes to one side. The list is empty. You may select here, and it will begin to prime to those jumps.
Then which is the one Zorath is to prime?
Oh, the only one there, and this will bring you back to the hub. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. No, you just walk through this big circle, and it will take you to, where are you going? Yes, Bartertown.
So Zorath only needs this to return, yes?
For the moment, once you, pass through, it will be added to your list of available, places to go on this other screen here.
Well,
Before we go, do you mind if I just make something really quick?
Make something? Sure.
Yes. She's gonna run over to the replicator and replicate her some stuff, so she can make another mend thy flesh just to replace the one that she already used,
Sure.
or at least attempt to.
Yeah,
Go
it
ahead.
comes out, it appears to be right. You haven't been able to test it, but
I think this is right. And you see, she pulls out, because we got all our gear back, correct?
yeah, you have all your stuffs here.
Yeah. She takes out, it looks like, it's kind of like a side bag, and she puts it around her neck, and she pops it out, so it looks almost like a table. And you see various, like an alembic, mortar and pestle, some other different gadgets and such for making her small concoctions. And she will try to make a level 2 Monday Flesh, and I unfortunately forget what the difficulty is for these ones.
Let's just say we'll do out of session.
Out of session one? Okay.
Yeah.
So I just have it?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so she quickly formulates a small vial. And you see she has this very large gun that's also slung around her other hip. Almost looks like a crank gun. And she has a small bandolier that she adjusts and puts on and slides a little concoction dart into it. She says, "Alright, ready?"
you see Zorath has a pair of rather large and tough-looking, sturdy iron spears, as well as a rather thick iron knife of sorts. Kind of more like a K-bar almost, but a bit thicker and a bit wider. He sheaths it into his belt with his plant fiber pants and everything, and seems ready to go. Straps the spears over his shoulder. Zorath is ready. Yeah, they have smelters and stuff.
And Hedwig looks to Mikey and Samuel. I'm gonna assume the two of you are ready.
Yep, just making sure all my instruments are good, and this helmet's still got the impact protection, so it seems like it's still intact integrally.
What does the helmet do?
This is, well, it's a deep space exosuit, but it's pretty good if you get bounced around against, the interior of spaceship, hard objects, things like that. So, anti-impact suit.
Oh, so we can kick you in the head and you'll be fine?
I'd prefer you didn't.
I won't.
You'd probably hurt yourself, but you could.
Right, well, I'll try not to test it. Not right now, anyway. And not with you in it.
Sure.
Mikey looks at the spinning lights and hears the vroom of the casting station. And he looks at Samuel Clark's high-tech exosuit and just puts his helmet on. And said he's ready to go.
Hey, you've got more than... Zorath just has pants and a couple of spears. Doesn't even have a shirt on.
Loincloth.
You walk through this. You walk up to the up the stairs and along the ramp, and then up, and then the librarian kind of gives you this like waving to walk through. Who's gonna walk through first?
I will.
Say Hedwig's gonna jog through.
Yeah, you both go in basically the same time, and to those that are watching, they just disappear as soon as they get into the light. And for those that follow, you quickly. You get for a moment you're like out of sorts. You don't remember. You just remember walking into the light and then seeing in front of you as if you stepped out into a very, very different place. You see a dry, arid, vast stretch in front of you. There's these strange poles everywhere. Mikey, you would recognize them as telephone poles. There's no wires stretched across them. And in the distance there's a small, like, kind of strange house. It looks kind of dilapidated, but there's nothing else around you.
Horvitz kind of comes to in this new world as the bright light fades from his eyes, and he feels the sand under his feet, and the sand is kind of swirling around in the air. Oh boy. This looks like home, but...
It is very, very hot.
Yeah, he immediately starts to perspire, and as he kind of jogs a few paces before stopping, his helmet's like sliding around on his head because of the perspiration. And
Yeah, Zorath kind of wiggles his feet in the rather blazing sand, kind of kicks at it a moment. Hot, like home. It is comforting. He actually feels quite at home. This is like warm beach sand almost to him. This is like par for the course. His homeworld is incredibly hot and humid, so although this is much drier, the heat is something he's used to.
yeah, Horvitz like quickly takes his overcoat off and wraps around his waist. And you're the one to talk, man. You've got a loincloth on.
It's basically, there is like a thing that hangs down over the front, but it's like a really heavy. They look fairly thick, like a good quarter-inch thick, but it's like woven plant fiber and stuff.
It's a cod piece.
And,
Yeah, this is pretty bad weather. Not the greatest for all this. Unfortunately, the suit's not very set for hot temperatures yet.
Hedwig takes the goggles from the top of her head and puts them over her eyes. Yes, this is very warm.
Your homes are cold like the harp, then.
Oh, not cold, temperature controlled.
Yeah, same thing. Usually in space, I mean, it's freezing temps and you're outside, but inside of a spaceship or station, it's temperature regulated.
As you guys are kind of just milling about outside, you hear or somebody shoots something, and you look kind of in the direction it comes from the house. Hear somebody say, "Oi! What are you doing in my backyard? Get out of here before I shoot y'all!"
Zora pulls a spear from his back.
Yeah, Horvitz just like reflexively drops and hits the ground. Like you see in war movies, it's instinct.
Hedwig waves slightly and says, "Don't worry, you mean no harm. Sorry."
This is not good. There is too much open ground here.
Oh yeah, there's like
Well,
nothing.
then let's try not to start anything then. Just calm down with the spear and we'll see if we can talk. Sorry, we're kind of lost. Do you know where Bartertown might be? We can be on our way.
Of course I know where Bartertown is. Do you think I'm a damn fool?
Where is it? If you could point us in the direction.
It's 30 kilometers that way. But you don't see him, so you don't know where he's pointing.
What's that way?
Yeah.
Towards the sun or away?
You don't even got any vehicle? You're gonna die before you get there of starvation and dehydration.
Well, is there someplace closer that you might say we can go to?
What you got to trade? Barter Town isn't the only place where people need things.
Horvitz says, well, what do you have on you? This guy, he shot at us for no reason. Maybe we should talk to him.
Perhaps he has one of those vehicles, yes?
We need to trade him something for it.
Yeah.
Take it.
Horvitz kind of has a handkerchief in his back left pocket and crawls in the sand and kind of ties it to the tip of his M1 Garand and kind of raises it over the dune, like waves it back and forth. We mean you no harm, sir. What are you in need for? Maybe we can help each other. Definitely don't want to die here.
You got petrol?
No, but I have some electrical implements maybe you could make use of.
Oh, and I can repair anything if you need something repaired. Probably.
There we go, right?
Trade some labor for resources, perhaps. We're pretty resourceful people, if nothing else.
And laborers.
And war heroes.
I ain't got no use for a war hero around these parts. But if you can fix things, then put your hands high and come up to the house.
Alright.
Yeah,
Getting somewhere.
Clark will power down his mask. Not that it matters, but he'll do it anyway. Since it seems like it's breathable atmosphere, since no one else is suffocated.
Hedwig will raise her hands and start walking, jogging towards the house.
Yes,
Why are you moving so fast? Slow and easy. Slow and easy.
You slow.
Horvitz has the white flag raised high and kind of slowly walks across the sand, leaving boot prints.
Zorath follows, but kind of turns to Samuel, actually.
Time said this place is not real, yes?
Well, it's a fantasy, it's a construct, I think he said, but that doesn't mean we can't die if we die on it.
Yes, we will die. But he said nothing we do here will change it. Yes?
Well, the timeline's fixed, but I mean, I'm assuming we affect people while we're here. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this kind of stuff, to be honest.
Should we be aggressive then? Take what we need? Or you wish to be peaceful?
I don't want to put ourselves at risk, if nothing else, even if these people aren't strictly, real, whatever you want to say they are. I think we be peaceful when we can, be violent when we have to. I'm not much of a soldier, all things said.
Very well.
All right there. That's good. That's good. Keep your hands up. I'm looking at you straight on. I got something that you can fix, and maybe you can help me, and we can help each other then. I'm gonna open the door. I want you to drop your weapons here on the porch.
Sure.
I see y'all got guns, except that one.
He's a bit of a stabby, gent.
Lots of stabby gents out here in the wastes.
Yeah. Sam will place his needle gun on porch. He will keep his wrench, then multi-tool, though, because those aren't technically weapons.
Same thing with Hedwig. She'll put down her Crankmaster onto the ground.
Zorath kind of puts his spear on his back. Zorath will not attack this one. This one has gun, yes?
Yeah, the door just creaks open, and he's pointing a rifle at you. Drop your pointy stick, fella. And you, point that antique. Get rid of it. Drop it.
Yeah, Horvitz kind of puts the carbine on the ground there.
Zorath kind of narrows his eyes a bit and looks to the others. But after a moment, he takes both of the spears and kind of tosses them tip first down into the wood as they kind of just stick right in.
Alright. You try anything funny, I'll shoot at least one of you dead.
Well, then we'll be completely serious.
What?
It's fine, just show us what you need fixed.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Keep your
Don't look
distance,
away.
though. I don't often let strangers in my house.
Well, I'm Hedwig. This is Samuel and Mikey and Zorath. And you are?
Call me Captain Jack.
It's nice to meet you, Captain Jack.
Well, I do need something fixed. And if you want to ride to Bartertown, I can give it to you if you can fix it.
Well, I think we've at least two of the best minds here. She looks over to Samuel.
Mikey just shrugs.
Yes.
Captain Jack, if you need something fixed, my friend here, she's not lying.
Well, that's good. Because if you're lying, I'm going to be mighty irritated you're wasting my time. Anyways, it's out the back. It's an airplane. Can you fix something like that? Propeller's busted.
Oh! I think I've worked with propellers before, or something of the like. Yes, I think I could take a look.
Alright, you fix it.
Certainly try to as well.
Yes.
I don't have many parts here. Some scrap out there. I've been working with it, but I ain't had no luck.
Don't worry, I can whip something up probably.
You have a back door, or you want us to go around the front and back?
Go in the back. There's a back door. Come on. Follow me. And he takes you to the back, and you head out, and you see there's this plane that he's been working on. It looks like.
I think Hedwig will run out into the scrap. She'll assess it before assessing what's wrong with the plane, what it's missing, what it needs.
Yeah, it's a bunch of metal. Nothing particularly exciting or of good quality.
Yeah, Samuel will have his toolbox and bring it out. You'll look it over. What's what appears to be? I mean, his aviation.
Well, he gets in and he starts it, and you hear the motor go, and the propeller just isn't spinning.
Yeah, he'll make a motion for Captain to power it down with his hand. After he does, Clark will get up on it and sturdiest part of it and start trying to look through the front area where the propeller is, where it's attached to, and try to open it up as best he can with the tools available.
Yeah, you're easily able to get it open. It's pretty rudimentary. You can give me Hedwig and Samuel to try to deduce what the problem is. Go ahead and give me a sciences roll. We'll do this as
I think I
challenging.
should probably boost her. I'm trained in it, so.
Oh, okay. So if you want to boost and you're both trained, you would get a benefit from his.
So you get a
Israel.
benefit? Okay.
I'm sure her sciences is higher than 1.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'll help her with.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a +3 because of my book. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're in there and you see that inside there's a part of what turns the propeller. There's a long rod that heads into the plane from where the engine is, and it is cracked.
She sees that and looks to it and says, Samuel, do you see this?
Yeah, I think it's like a connector for aviation is not my specialty, but it's like a connecting rod of some kind.
Yes, it's cracked, unfortunately. But I'm sure we can fix it. Give me a moment. And she's going to start trying to basically take it out.
We can probably try to weld it inside of the plane while it's still attached if you want to try. Do you know what welding is?
I think I've heard something
You
similar.
got a welder with you?
I have a tool that I might be able to use for it. Yeah.
Alright. I don't see any propane or anything like that on your back anyway. Go ahead and give me perception rolls, everyone.
Do my elf eyes see? Eventually, I'll flick through.
Your head's in the engine, you don't see
Oh
anything.
my god.
Whoa!
Hey,
Look at
probably
that!
sees-
He's awesome.
Zorath particularly, but Samuel too, you hear this vroom, 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 vroom. You hear this in the not so far distance. Everybody else seems oblivious to it.
Zorath turns. Something comes, and he starts sprinting back to the front to grab his spears.
Yeah, you see what's that?
All right, he picks us up
Yeah.
out of the engine noise.
Yeah, you see this dust just kicking up as you're running towards him, Zorath, and you look out and you see that there's these. They're moving very quickly towards you. You're not sure they're like mechanical horses, but they're moving much faster than, or not a horse, but a mechanical mount, and they're moving much faster. There's one in front that looks slightly different as well, and you're not exactly sure. But I'll switch it over to what they look like.
His first priority is getting up front to get that spear.
Oh shit!
Give it a thumbs up. He's like, yeah.
Zorath, where you going? No sudden movements. Captain Jack's gonna shoot you dead.
What the hell is going on?
Zorath, he's kind of skittish, that guy.
Something is coming.
Captain, you expecting company?
He rushes out behind Zorath. He's like, "Oh, damn it, Raiders!
Raiders, what do you mean?
Raiders, they're gonna come and take everything we got and kill us."
Can we
No,
get our
they're
gun?
not.
Can we get our gun?
Yeah, let's get them.
Yeah, he hops down and holds a hand for Hedrick to get down.
Yeah, Zorath's fast as hell. He's just fucking
She-
booging it.
And she takes Samuel's hand and says, I've never been in a combat or anything.
Just look, Mikey definitely has been. Just follow his lead, okay?
Right.
And Zorath.
Now I get the credit. All right, everybody on me. Let's go.
Don't worry, we're not doing combat tonight, but just give me 1 second. Yeah, it's probably.
And it all explodes and we all die.
The raider in the truck. This truck pulls up, and there's a man in the cannon. All right, there, Captain. I know you got the loot that we've been looking for, the petrol. Give it over, and I won't shoot you all dead. I don't know who your friends are. You see Zorath in the front, and
Yeah.
he's on this
Zorath.
big cannon.
Yeah, Zorith scoops up their stuff and quickly tosses their stuff into the house and grabs his 2 spears, one in either hand, and rushes back in.
Captain's like, oh, I do have some petrol. If they find it, they're gonna take it. Then that ship ain't gonna, or that plane ain't gonna go nowhere.
Then we hunt them down to the last.
Oh, I got an idea. Hedwig kind of looks back. Why don't we just threaten to light the petrol on fire? And they won't get it either.
They just kill us out of anger, yes?
Probably.
Hurry up,
Mikey.
Captain! You don't got all day.
What do you think here, Mikey?
It's all you.
The Brit doesn't have a half bad plan, at least as a last resort. It's our only bargaining chip we have, and at least it could buy us a little time to prepare.
We need to lure them closer.
Hey, Captain, these raiders, what type of man do they know you as?
Well, I'm a man that flies this airplane for money. Well, for bartering stuff, I suppose. Really more petrol and food. Known
Have
around
you
these
dealt with them
parts.
before?
I've kept them at bay by giving them things, a little bit of petrol here or there. I know them.
Maybe we bait them closer and then, I don't know.
Ambush, yes.
Like, tell them to come in and to get the petrol.
And that's what I'm saying. For all they know, they haven't seen our faces before. For all they know, we are raiders that got to the captain before they did.
You just tell me what you want me to say and I'll say it.
I don't think you have to say nothing.
Mikey seems prepared. You lead, yes?
Well, so we just wait? What if they just shoot down the house?
Mikey, you will lure them closer, yes? You speak for us.
That's right. I'm going to lure them closer because they don't know what's going on in this house. And if these planes are as treacherous as I think they are, well, these raiders can't only bad men out in this area.
You hear...
So
Go ahead.
yeah, he looks to Mikey. So, what do we say to him? Just lure him into the petrol with... I don't know if they think another group's here. They're just going to open up on us, aren't they?
They might, unless they're afraid.
I don't know. With what that guy's packing on that car, he doesn't look very afraid. I don't know, Mike. Maybe we have Captain call him in. Got lots of petrol. They need to come in and get it, right? And then they get closer. Maybe we, I don't know, open up on them.
Zorath is unconcerned. Once they come, they will die. Just get them here.
Am I?
Yeah, well, why don't you, I don't know, why don't you try that, Captain? Just tell them the petrol's here, come in and get it, and we just get the ones we can get that are close. And it killed me. Holy shit.
Yeah, how many did you see?
How many's out there when I'm looking?
There you see, you just see the car. You don't know where the others are. There's that.
Zorath turns.
There were several, Zorath believes. And small ones, very fast.
Yeah, motorcycles. They'll be surrounding us, I'm sure. Alright, I'll call out to them. Alright, boys, yeah, the petrol's in here in the cellar. Come on in. Come on in the front or the back, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna hunker down in the corner, boys. And he shrugs. And as you wait, anticipate these raiders coming in, that's where we're going to end it, and the screen is going to fade to black as some of the raiders approach the cabin. And that is it.
I don't know if I like all this sticky stuff.
This episode